Boeing smashed market expectations on Wednesday, and I'm wondering, what does this mean for other companies who have exposure to China?
I think it's actually good news, and we've seen this from some of the other industrial companies as well. They talked about how the trade tensions and higher costs have hurt, but I think everybody's built that into expectations already. And so the fact that Boeing actually came in better than expected, even with some of the impact of trade tensions, I think is actually really good news. And now companies and investors are both looking forward and saying this should be less of a problem in the future.
Apple also impressed the markets Tuesday night, and that's after Wall Street had kind of baked in disappointment. How is that going to affect other tech earnings?
I think that has less impact because the Apple issues really seem to be much more specific to Apple itself. So I don't think there's a read-through for anything in general from Apple, and I think it beat really low expectations rather than something where that was better than expected. So yes, it was better than low expectations that they had set just a couple of weeks ago.
We've also gotten reports from Allergan, Amgen, and Pfizer. How is the healthcare sector looking to you guys?
We actually like the healthcare sector. We think it's going to hold up quite well. And we've seen companies come in okay in the healthcare sector. I would say some misses, some beats, but there's a lot of adjustment there and there's a lot of moving parts. So overall, that's one of the sectors I think will actually do well this year. But it's less on this earnings and more on a general sense that these are companies that are able to grow without having to depend on the economy and without worrying so much about what's happening with the rest of the world.
Now, I'm sure that this is a question you've asked a lot, but is there a recession on the horizon?
So we think not. We think that this is a lot of worry about the fact that growth is slowing. Whenever economic growth slows, everybody just sort of extends that line out and says, oh, it has to go negative. Well, economies don't slide into recession. And just because this is a long expansion, expansions don't die of old age. And I think investors really need to keep that in mind when we hear about slower growth, especially in the first quarter. Fourth quarter growth looks pretty strong, but as we see that slow down, there'll be lots of recession predictions. We actually think those are overblown and that this is actually a good time to be investing because the economy will do a little better than people are expecting. It's that solid base in economic and earnings growth that will keep stocks rising, but it'll be a bumpier road ahead.
Kate, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.